Hello folks, welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. Several people keep sending me this clip in different fashions and purported to be a clip of Cyril Ramaphosa speaking at the ANC Youth League conference. Now, to my knowledge, there hasn't been one in 2025. There was a KZN Youth League KwaZulu-Natal 10th Provincial Congress that took place in early part of February, around the 10th of February, and the revolutionaries were there and ready to engage in a meaningful way. Well, this is Cyril Ramaphosa, and I don't know if it's from then or if this is from previous years or where this was, but this video is making the rounds now, and he's talking about Youth League and revolution. Now, let's listen to this. The reason we're going to listen to this is whether it's recent or it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, 7 years old, it really isn't the issue. If it's recent, it's even more concerning in light of all that's going on. But in this clip, let's listen to what Cyril Ramaphosa has to say about South Africa. Now, remember, this is a country with majority black rule. There's no need for revolution. The revolution's over. The majority population runs the country into the ground, but they run the country. So why would you need a revolution? But let's listen and listen to what politicians say. Listen to the words and believe them for what they claim they are.
The ANC may eventually lose the ability to grow and to renew itself. So therefore, I call upon you to return to the militancy of the ANC Youth League of the 1944 era, to go back to the militancy of the ANC Youth League of the 80s and the 90s. This is your heritage. That is where you belong. That is where we want to see the ANC Youth League returning to. We don't want to see an ANC Youth League that is docile. We don't want to see an ANC Youth League that is asleep during a revolution. You are the revolution.
We don't want to see an ANC Youth League that is docile. We don't want you to be asleep during the revolution. What revolution? Well, this would be the National Democratic Revolution. This is the communist takeover of South African society, which is well underway. And why does ANC deny it? They say it to the public. They say it to their followers at their speeches on their campaign trail. They tell the world that they are communists and they want to take over the country and run it as a communist state. No freedom, no private property ownership, expropriation without compensation at the will of a local politician or a provincial or national politician without any justification whatsoever. And their ministers run around the world lying to the public. Ronnie Lamole saying that every country in the world has expropriation without compensation. It's not unusual. In fact, it is unbelievably unusual. He lied about America, saying America has the same thing. We do not. The Fifth Amendment to the Constitution expressly prohibits the government from depriving people of property without compensation. Pretty simple. It's in our Constitution. It's also in the South African Constitution under Section 25. You must compensate people in a just and equitable manner. You can only take the land in the public interest and for a public purpose. And you must compensate them. You pass a law that violates that, it's unconstitutional. And that's where we sit right now. So take them at their word. This is Cyril Ramaphosa telling us, quite frankly, that the youth need to be violent like they were in the 40s, especially like they were in the 1980s. Resort to violence. He's calling for violence. This is the president of a country. Now, he can try to mealy-mouth talk this way and say, well, I just want them to have the spirit to be more active. Well, then you tell them to be more active. You don't tell them to be more militant. He's calling for violence. Take him at his word. Whether he said this on the 10th of February 2025, or he said it in 2024 or 2023, or whenever he said it. He's not hiding who he is. It's been in plain sight the entire 31 years. It's just that the world chose to ignore it. And so did many South Africans. To their peril, black, white, and brown, you all suffer the fate of the collapse of South Africa under the African National Congress, a party that betrayed the liberation struggle in its quest for socialism and communist dominance. Hang in there, South Africa. It's going to be a seriously bumpy ride. Cheers.